So I was getting ready to do a quick run to my local Pic-A-Part this morning, and I thought, why don't I do a quick video on my run and gun junkyard bag. Now, I did a video a while ago, which I'll link to up here somewhere, on like my full junkyard bag, and that's got all my sockets and wrenches and impact and pry bars and all that stuff. That thing, I've pulled an engine with it, I've pulled a transmission with it, I've pulled axles with it. That's my like main big bag for big projects. But that's a big bulky bag, and I don't like to go with that if I know that I'm not going to be going after a project like that. This is what I tend to carry. Now this is just a simple canvas tool bag. This bag actually lives in that big bag, and then if I just want to run and gun, I grab this. So they said this is just a canvas bag. I think it's Harbor Freight. I don't know. This thing is ancient. But let's see what I got living in this thing. So obviously the first thing you need are gloves. Protect your hands. You don't want to go getting all cut up at the junkyard. We're not going to be able to clean up right away. Protect your hands. All right, so this is the kind of like the I don't want to say the base of this tool bag, but with this set right here, I can get a lot of stuff done. I think this is what I took when I pulled the blend door actuator for my Dodge Charger. I think this was all I had with me. Maybe a couple of like interior pry bars, but simple little setup. What I like about this is that there's a lot here in a small, lightweight package that I'm not lugging around a whole lot of tools. Klein multi-bit screwdriver. It's got a extendable or removable or extendable end on it, so I can get into some tighter places. It also has a bunch of bits in the handle, along with kind of like a multi-bit set. This has some odd like safety torques, and some other odds and ends, kind of like odd bits in there. But comes in really handy. With that, I have the Klein flip sockets, and again, they can go right, on there, and now I can use it as like a nut driver. Come on. And also is this Icon bit set. I love this set. They now sell a larger set. I'm not sure if the cost difference is worth it, but this set is great. It's got a great little ratchet, more bits, and all of these bits I could obviously use in the Klein, along with an extension. This can act as like a T-handle. Just a really handy tool set. Let's put these aside and we'll go to the next tools. Next tools are around sockets. Now these are the Astro Nano sockets. I got the set in standard and metric. I got it on a little aluminum socket rail here, and I love these sockets. These things can get into some really tight places. You pair that up with this Astro, was this the 583105? Try to get a shot of that there. This is the Astro 10.5 inch flex head nano socket wrench. They do make a longer version. I have that one in my main bag, but this fits in this bag perfect. And then I pair also with a 3/8 ratchet and a couple of extensions and a wobble bit. Again, you're not going to go pull an engine with these. You're not going to pull a transmission with these, but for some other, maybe a little bit larger parts where you need to get a little bit larger bolts out than maybe this can handle, that's where these step up. And again, packs up, really small package, really lightweight, and they don't obviously take up a whole lot of room. They fit perfect in that canvas tool bag. Next tools you need are a variety of wrenches. Now, just a good adjustable wrench, maybe a pair of vice grips, a pair of channel locks, and a couple of different cutters depending on what you're going after. So good assortment of pliers for your junkyard bag. Let's see what else I got in here. One thing I like to take is a battery, because I have this battery adapter. And what this is good for is if you want to test something. If you're going after like maybe a power window motor, you can actually plug this right on to a Milwaukee battery. And now you've got lead ends that you can test things. Maybe windshield wiper motor, or who knows. This is just a quick, easy way to be able to test to see if that motor you're grabbing is any good. I also have a trim removal tool and some other just random plastic pry tools for taking off interior trim pieces, stuff like that. Just a cheap razor blade, good for obviously, you know, cutting into like maybe cable looms and stuff like that. Also with that is this. This is actually a sewing tool. It's a seam ripper, and this you can feed this into or behind the like the wire loom material, and this will just shred right through it without having to really worry too much about damaging the cables inside. This will make quick work if you want to isolate some wires. Really handy tool to have. I also like to grab a light and extra hardware. But yeah, a light. Now, like, so between the light and the battery, these are the only two things I have to like grab off the shelf if I'm gonna be going to the junkyard, because they don't live in here. This is just a rechargeable USB, and then obviously my Milwaukee battery. But there you go, guys. A real simple run and gun junkyard bag. Not too heavy. We're not going to wear you out trying to lug this thing around and get in and get out. Get you pretty much a lot of things that you're looking for. Like I said, you're not going to go pulling big stuff, engines, transmissions, axles, stuff like that. But for your random odds and ends, smaller parts, this is a great toolkit to carry. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you on the next one.